How do you control yourself when you are full of rage and want to keep calm? I isolate myself and count to a number between 10 and 50, depending on how full of rage I am. And then punch as many people as you counted to. Hold it in so long that you implode into a desolate unfeeling meat sack. Numb isn't angry, am I right? I'm a very calm person, but teach calming techniques to emotionally disturbed kids. The biggest help I've found is finding a technique which grounds you and reminds you where you are in the present. I teach lots of different ones, including clench and unclench your toes, focus on the feeling of your feet on the floor while you do it, breath in and out so deeply you feel like your ribs are being pulled apart and knitted back together, grab something near you, could be a pole, table, whatever, and clench and unclench around it, walk, while counting your steps, do something rhythmic. I like bouncing a ball personally, but can be anything, from using a stamp to skipping. All research shows when you reach red mist your rationality is gone and you just have to last it out. Your best bet is to recognize when you're losing control and utilize grounding techniques before you're past the point of no return. Grab something near you, could be a pole, table, whatever, and clench and unclench around it, preferably not someone's throat. I think about this gay vampire I met and start counting prime numbers. A man is about as big as the things that make him angry. Winston Churchill. I think to myself, am I this small? I used to be very angry and yell all the time, but nowadays I never raise my voice. In my opinion, anger is never good. I don't really know how I got to that point. I told myself over and over again that being aggressive and angry will not change things at all. It will even make them worse. I meditated over that and told it to myself every day, until it became like a mindset. Now, when I feel that I am getting angry, I just breath slowly, remember this, and I stay calm. It took me around a year to get to this point though. It's gonna be hard in the beginning, but after some time, it will become easier and easier. We have the family temper. My grandpa used to lose his shit and go into fits of rage. Dad did the same thing, throwing shit, cursing, breaking stuff. I hated it. Everybody had to tiptoe around their tempers and it's ruined a few family events. When I catch myself starting to see red and go into one of those fits, I just concentrate on how bad my grandpa's and my dad's episodes made everyone feel, and that helps calm me down. Also, whatever it is that triggers it, walk away from it. You won't be able to properly address whatever it is if you try to do it while raging. I breathe deep and force myself to observe, not participate. Silence seems to confuse people as they don't have anything to immediately react to. I isolate myself. I start to clean something, literally anything. I have a punching bag at home named Kyle. Stay calm. Kyle's at home and he deserves my juvenile temper tantrum, not other people. I have a brother named Kyle. Same principle. I decide that keeping calm is probably not the best option. Then I wreck a bunch of stuff like relationships and property, mine or others. Then I calm down. Headbang on loud music. I focus on my breath, imagining the air filling my lungs with every breath I take, visualizing my lungs sending oxygen into my blood and rushing throughout my body. Or, I touch or feel something coarse or rough, just to grab my attention away from my thoughts. This is called a grounding exercise. I was taught to do this when I was diagnosed with OCD and panic disorder. I still use it now and then to get a grip on myself when something distresses me. I go outside and walk, paying attention to my breathing. Unless it's dark, then I stare at the stars. Always overwhelms me. I think to myself, can I do the jail time? Usually the answer is no. The absolute angriest I have been in my life was when my wife chided me for weeks saying I never share feelings with her, then shut me down sharing trouble I had been having since a recent move with you never share with me. I'm not going to start listening now. I let myself angrily scream, are you serious? which was so loud and out of character. She jumped. I could see I scared her, and while I wanted to argue, "I don't want my wife afraid of me," I very literally bit my lip, filled the largest cup in our cupboard with water and made myself drink the whole thing before proceeding. Think of the consequences of your actions and mood. Buy yourself time to cool down. I completely shut off. As a kid I was pretty emotionally volatile, and somewhere along the way I subconsciously started muting my emotions. The result was that I was either apathetic or exploding with emotion, mostly the latter former, especially as depression developed. Anyway, later on I started to have panic attacks and learned very quickly that I could just shut down completely instead. Over the years it has softened. I tend to take a deep breath and remind myself that I don't want to be that way. Sometimes, I still just switch off. I found that violence, whether smashing things or punching a punch bag, made me angrier, even if it tired me out. I found that breathing techniques by and large made me feel anxious. And I found that while walks were fabulous, they weren't always appropriate. This is really tough to do. Like, really tough to do. I just turn off completely, like a robot that got shut down. Then I think about what I need to do that day and go do it. I go outside for a run. Controlled breathing and music. Am I doing it right? If you want my 2 cents here, I am in no way an expert. I just tend to read on some psychology books though. I have realized that every person is different. Something working for me won't work for you. In my case I have noticed that it is easier for me to calm myself before reaching the point of full raging rather finding a way to clam down. It is really hard to control your rage. It's an animal instinct. When you are on rage mode, you are typically on beast, primitive mode in which the animal has taken over. Then it's too late. When you are in a calmer state you can think things through and avoid reaching the boiling point, making it easier to calm down than when you have crossed that line. Usually my frustration is because of something done by another, so I constantly work to remind myself that the other person is a human with challenges, difficulties, friends, faults, successes, failures, and that chances are not that evil. I want to bring more positivity into the world, and maybe start helping others to feel more positive too. Clean the shit out of everything. If my house smells like strong bleach, you know I'm mad. I learned to do this one as well. My wife knows if she comes in and the kitchen is spotless that I've had a bad day. Few things better than taking all that energy and forcing it to do something legitimately functional. I'm too physically big to be that guy who hits the wall or yells at the kids. I don't want my family to fear me the way I feared my father. So, I clean. I don't particularly like cleaning, but I'd rather spend an hour scrubbing a bathroom floor than have my children scared when I enter the room. I wish I had a father like you. Talk quieter. I work in a call center, so if someone comes in hot, the easiest way to keep myself calm and diffuse the situation is if I talk slower and quieter. It calms me down and they calm down as well. I just start crying. Isolation. Ignoring others. Count to 10. Go to the bathroom and silent scream. It's actually quite comforting to know that there are others out there who deal with rage issues. If you can. If it's legal, weed really helps. I worked with preschoolers and I find zones of regulation super helpful, even as an adult. Basically, it's having an awareness of your emotional state. You have the green, blue, yellow, and red zones. If you can notice that you're entering the red zone, you can take steps to recenter yourself before you go into an all-out rage. You know that kid who's been raised around a lot of angry people and hence knows no other way to behave in life other than all the angry ways? Yeah, that's me. That said, once I moved away from home 10 years ago, I have mellowed out a lot. Some of these are overarching behavioral changes, while others are tricks I use to calm down in the moment. Here's a list of the tricks. 1. Shut the hell up when you feel rage building inside you. Nothing you'll say in the moment will make it go away or resolve the situation. So relax and keep quiet. 2. Deep breaths help a lot. It doesn't need to be overt and visible, but you can take some quiet deep breaths. This gives you something else to focus on, and deep breaths never hurt anyone. 3. Try unplugging yourself and looking at the situation from a third-person perspective. Would you still feel the same way if you were a mere spectator instead of a participant in the situation? This perspective shift works like a charm. These are just a few things that help me. Hope they help you too. I ask myself how I am guilty of the same offense. Someone was unfair to me. Well, am I innocent of being unfair to others? My case had special circumstances that made sense to me. Just like, theirs made sense to them. ... Crap. I'm a hypocrite. It does take the wind out of your sails. I close my eyes and count to 10. It works most of the time, but then I got fired. Bus driver. If it's at a person who is standing in front of me, I say, do absolutely nothing and just stare them dead in the eye until they look away. Feels like I'm hurting them with laser beams, and so far it's worked to either infuriate them or calm them down. I consider both wins in those situations. If I'm by myself, I cry and it doesn't work. Easy. Just delete emotions. You do not have permission to perform this task. Please contact your computer administrator for help. Cold shower, or better submerge your head in a bucket of ice water. Not sure about the science behind this, but the shock to your system vagus nerve down regulates out of control emotions. This, in dialectical behavioral therapy, it's part of the TIP skills. The cool water stimulates the body's natural dive response, which helps quell your emotional state and pull you back into the here and now. T stands for tip the temperature. In order to calm down quickly, try holding your breath and putting your face in a bowl of cold water, or holding a cold pack on your eyes and cheeks for at least 30 seconds. This will cue your mammalian diving reflex, which is a natural reflex that occurs in all mammals and is triggered in humans when our faces are submerged in cold water. The reflex causes our body chemistry to change, heart rate drops down immediately, and the parasympathetic nervous system is activated to prompt a relaxation response. Make sure to keep water above 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Source: